Welcome to my channel. Today we will understand how we can generate synthetic data. So most of the time we face the problem of lack of data. We want to train a model, and for training a model we need a lot of data. For smaller companies mostly it happens, and sometimes we have a client which is having huge amount of data but we cannot utilize those data. So what we can do normally, we take some of the seed examples of those enormous data and take those seed examples and ask LLM to generate synthetic data for us. That's exactly we are going to see today. So for that we need a library of LangChain, LangChain Experimental, LangChain OpenAI. The model you can use any model you want to use here. I'm showing this demo using OpenAI API keys, and you can use Llama or any open source model. But LangChain Experimental has one of the library like support data generation. So if you look at the document, this is a very simple approach to generate synthetic data. They have some bunch of imports. So they have this import called tabular synthetic data from OpenAI, where we have the method called create OpenAI data generator, and then we have the support of few prompts which helps us to generate the data. Then obviously we need to have any model, so they are using chat OpenAI. We can use any other open source model as well. Then we have to define the schema. So they have defined some medical billing related schema and some of the seed examples as I was talking about. So these are the seed examples they have. The structure is list of JSON, and the JSON is having the keys called example. Inside example they have the strings in triple quotes, as you can see. So they have this name and the value, then it is separated by comma itself, you can see, right? But so let's look at this first. So then next we are generating the prompt template. Using prompt template we just pass to the LLM, and this create OpenAI data generator model takes the schema for our data and then the LLM model and then the prompt template. Once this object is created, we can call this generate method, and we pass the subject and extra just help us to give extra details about what kind of data we want to have. So that name must be chosen at random, make it something you wouldn't normally choose, something like that. And how many data points we want to generate, that count we can provide here. At the end we will have the synthetic results. Now in our use case we are going to do something different. So we already installed all these libraries. So most of the tutorial you will find in the over internet or YouTube. They showcase these code but they didn't run those things. So you will face one issue related to Pydantic, which I will also tell you how to solve that without having any issues. We are going to run this code. So I will run this code in front of you, so don't worry about that. We have keys saved in this keys secret section for security purpose. Now we will import these imports like LangChain Experimental from this create open data generator, all those things. Here one thing I have done extra, that is synthetic data generator dot model rebuild. This will avoid that Pydantic issue. So let me run this thing. Yes, now it is successfully ran. We set up this model chat OpenAI using this keys OpenAI base and OpenAI key. This is not required in if you have any normal API key base, but for our case it is required. We'll run this LLM chat OpenAI object, and we define our text classification model. So our problem statement is that we have bunch of classes, bunch of labels and their corresponding text. So the stock market showed a significant rise today. The investors are looking for new opportunities in tech sector. So some of the seed examples we have, these are the level having finance. Then we have the labels called health. Then we have the technology, some questions related to technology. So here we have what, text and label, right? So I'm creating the text label both attributes as a string, and I imported this base model from this Pydantic. Let me execute this one. This is the seed examples I have. I'm just converting into DataFrame. I'll show you how to create examples of using this data. Let's print the DataFrame what we have right now. This is our labels and things like that. So usually you will get some seed examples either in Excel or in CSV or any format, any like this list of JSON. Ultimately you convert into some uniform format to feed our synthetic data generator model to generate new sample data. Let's like randomize those data seed examples so that the results would be much better. Otherwise it will follow one pattern. So we can use sample method, and now it will randomize, so you can print and see those indexes are not now changed, right? It's not following anything. Yeah, now we'll make a seed examples. As I told you, this for this use case they have made like that. They have examples and then in the string they passed all those stuffs, right? Here we are having this example key, and then inside that we have the text, and I'm separating with the next line character instead of comma, because the text can contains comma somewhere. It might possible, right? So there is no clear indication where it is separating, right? So we can use next line separator or any unusual thing, so that the model will get to know that this is the text and this is the label, right? We can use double slash n, but let's see. So here we have separated with single slash n. Now these are the examples, seed examples we have. This example is the text and the next line character, then the label comes, because our use case is different, right? So according to our use case we can set up the things. Now our seed examples are created. Now here is the main thing comes. We have the prompt template from this OpenAI data generator. It has that kind of prompt available. Let me print the prompt for you as well, what it has. Then just note this thing. So they use few short prompt template and they provide some prefix. They put all those seed examples whatever we have. Then the suffix, in the suffix I am just customizing it. I am saying that should be valid JSON schema, and the field string with just a key value pair, nothing else. Okay, let me print this thing. Field string. Sorry, it's S. Yeah, so text and label are the JSON schema we are expecting. So it's separated by colon. Should be separated by colon, right? So let's do one thing. Let's make it our custom one. You get it what I'm saying. So should be. So it is fine. Like yeah, they have to generate a key which is having text and label. It will understand. No need to change anything. So create a random unique examples, do not bias to one label, things like that. Whatever you want to put, you can put here. And according to use case, I just made it customized, but your use case can be different, right? So accordingly you can customize it. Let me craft these things before, so that we print what it has, right? So if you see the prompt template, let's see first the OpenAI template what it has. So it's a basic schema, things like these example needs to be there, the input types, partial template, things like that. Then if we print the prompt template, it will have these things where we are having all those examples. Then we have suffix is just a last one. It says that now you need to generate synthetic data subject, make sure it's a valid JSON, which I put it here. Then create a random and unique, do not bias to one example. Prefix is just this is a test about generating synthetic data subject. This you can change, right? It's not mandatory, but you can see here we pass one variable interpolation, that is subject. So these variables needs to be passed somewhere, right? These seed examples are already having already there, but subject needs to be passed. Then this extra you can pass extra, make sure to extra. So extra is just to add some constraint or some boundaries for our generated data. You get the idea, right? So this is our prompt template. Now we'll run this. So we'll create an object for this. So just use this method create OpenAI data generator from this LangChain community. Here be imported, as you remember, right? This one. Okay. Now we pass the output schema on this test classification. The model, which is LLM we already defined above side, right? We have seen this. Yeah. So here you can see the temperature I increased 0.6. So ideal range should be 0.4 to 0.8, 0.9 for better results, because you need to have some creativity in such use cases, right? So better to create increase the temperature. We pass the prompt. So prompt template we already have defined here. Now let's run this one. Okay. So I was talking about this extra prompt, right? So somewhere it has to be passed. So once the object is this created, we call the generate method, and here we pass the subject. Subject is test classification, and the extra prompt is just to generate synthetic text classification examples. Ensure that the generated output is JSON object that explicitly will have keys. Those keys name from DataFrame I took, unique classes, and then how many examples we want to create, we can pass that number here. So this is a final or output variable we have. We can iterate it, and this is a text classification object, so it has those keys, right? Text and label, those attributes, and we can print those, and whatever we want to do, we want to convert into final DF, some data frame or something like that. So sometimes the data will be generated is not the way you want, so you have to tune this prompt for your particular use case. Let's see what it generates. So it will take some time. This part will take time, right? It is calling LLM, and yeah. So we have some examples created here. You can see this finance, health, environment, technology, and this example 2 is just the rise of e-commerce as transport, retail, shopping experience. But you can see there is nothing label is present here. So some examples are created, but some randomness are there. We have to tune this prompt a little bit, this one, also the extra prompt, so that the example will be in the sync format, but ultimately it's running, right? So that's it. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for this video, watching this video. Thank you.